Hey Ratbags, it's Jade. Pretty hyped tonight as on the State of Play PlayStation Showcase, we've got a release window or release month for Towers of AGHASBA. This is a game I've been following for 5 years. That was when I first did a video after seeing a trailer reveal and then having a couple of emails with some of the creators of the game talking about what this game potentially could be. 5 years later, it's finally releasing. It is a survival co-op experience. It will have you building a huge, massive village, in fact 3 of them if you really want, as you try and basically build up a settlement by exploring and taming a whole bunch of creatures and defending. If it looks a little bit too cozy, don't worry, there is a lot of action in the game. It looks to be some sort of tower defense elements too, as you'll face off against some blight and dark creatures. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the reveal and what to expect and what we know so far about Towers of AGHASBA coming to PlayStation 5, maybe PS4, but no Xbox launch, but it will be launching on Steam Early Access alongside PlayStation. But for now, I'm just happy it's here. Honestly, it's one of them games that I've hyped up for years, any bit of news talked about, and yeah, 5 years after it actually first revealing, it is going to be arriving very soon. Find this video useful, leave a like. As always with the best survival games news, make sure you're subscribed and let's go. Towers of AGHASBA finally releasing this year. So this was the original concept demo trailer and it's made by a small team that previously worked on a game called Hawken, which was a pretty popular mech style game. It's very different from what they would focus on next, which is kind of Studio Ghibli, Breath of the Wild, but crafting survival building simulation game. Some crazy looking creatures, really weird concepts. It is going to focus a lot on growing your crops and unlocking the potential to get a lot of tames. Here's the rundown from what they've added with this trailer release. They have got a Steam page so you can go and check out more details. There's going to be 3 types of unique ecosystems to restore and grow, 3 types of towns to construct, 40 plus creatures to unlock, 120 plants to grow and harvest, 150 decoration recipes, exploration across vast open world lands, ruins and relics to discover, unlocking ancient knowledge, and variety of activities, e.g. fishing. There's no definitive date of when exactly they're going to release in November, but it is going to be a release window at least. In their Discord, which you can go and join, I'll leave a link to it in the comment section as well, they've been speaking about what to expect with co-op. It is going to be a co-op game. They're going to start off with 4 players and then apparently they're going to see how things go with performance and they may be able to ramp it up to more as they progress, but obviously have to be careful with the PlayStation. Now, maybe a slight bit of confusion. I did find on a couple websites it did actually say it would be coming to PlayStation 4, but at the moment with the trailer and in Discord it does only mention PS5, so I'll try and clarify that for the future. Originally the game was made in Unreal Engine 4, not too sure if that's changed and been upgraded. It does look great, but also a lot of the visuals do look pretty similar to the same trailer they revealed all them years ago. When they launch in Early Access, there's going to be 6 regions to explore, and yes, the 3 ecosystems and 3 types of village settlements to develop, and they are promising probably more than the 40 plus on their Steam page listing 50. There is obviously going to be 4 players capped per session, and again they repeat that on Steam, but like I said in Discord they are talking and mentioning more. No price details yet, I'm sure that won't be revealed until literally the last few days before release. They reckon they're going to be in early access around 12 to 18 months. So this is a big deal because PlayStation often are told that they don't do early access, which has never really been true, not for a long time at least. What PlayStation require is that any other competing platforms don't necessarily get updates at maybe a faster pace than them if they're early access titles. Also announced tonight was Power World coming to PlayStation, which is out now. Another game preview game on Xbox and early access on Steam. So it does look good. We'll have to see how it actually pans out with the updates for PlayStation and Steam. I've covered and talked about so many survival games over the years. I've been doing this 8 years, and for sure though, when this first dropped, I was blown away by the visuals and the idea that this was full on gameplay. It did hit a few snags. They were looking for investors, which they obviously managed to get, Dreamlit, and I think they ended up going with a program that has a basically bunch of pretty famous game devs also operating their own publishing arm. They did also change the name. Originally it was called just Towers, but now it is Towers of AGHASBA. And they did have long periods where they kind of went dark and silent, obviously trying to get investment and trying to make sure stuff was going right. But they did obviously come out of nowhere again at the early part, I think this year or just last year, and announced that, yep, Towers of AGHASBA would be releasing in 2024. And they've left it late, but it does look to be true. Some people have really compared it a lot to games like Viva Pinata and obviously games like Breath of the Wild. I really like the idea of maybe, having to get your settlement built up and do certain actions to get your tames rather than just bonk them over the head like in Ark. If we have to grow certain crops and make sure our settlement's built up to a certain level, that would be really interesting, as well as maybe a bit more traditional ways of taming. But the idea that you can ride and climb so many of these creatures, pretty much like Shadow of the Colossus, is really cool too. The biomes are unlike anything I've ever seen, real fantasy led, and there's obviously swimming involved as well with lots of underwater creatures. But it's not going to be this cozy game. As I mentioned at the start, you will be doing side activities, but it does look like you can have proper combat with lots of the creatures you come across. And this darker element, which almost looks like a horror game at parts. So very excited about this game. Sometimes you cover games and they don't really go anywhere, they get cancelled. That's happened so many times with things that I was really looking forward to. So I'm so pleased to see Tales of AGHASBA finally make it, and I'm going to do my best to absolutely get hold of a key to show you guys as early or preview as soon as I can. Or absolutely on release date, I'll be there with some gameplay guides, and hopefully if it's a great game, lots and lots of coverage. Debating where that might be, here on the main survival channel or my JCraft channel, which covers a bit more cozy and sort of younger survival games. We'll have to wait and see some more previews. Join the Discord with the link I'll put in the comment section, and I'll see you ratbags later.